Well, Zach, we are once again here for the Fluffy Biscuits podcast, and I have a gripe with Legos. Okay?
Um, okay. By all means, please. Uh,
Well, okay.
I don't even know what to say to that.
Well, you
You
see,
joining a class action lawsuit?
no. I have a gripe with them because they are releasing a big Dungeons and Dragons set of Legos, but it's $360.
Okay.
This upsets me because I really want it, but I would never pay $360 for Legos. I'm just gonna put that out there. Like what? Like why? Another thing that I want to point out, because I'm sure like most kids have played with some form of Legos or Mega Blocks. You've played with Legos, right?
Oh, of course. Back
Okay.
when I was a kid, my big thing, um, was I got this. Fuck me. Um, Playmobil. Playmobil. That's what it was called. I loved that. It kind of was like Legos, but instead of building it, they were just like play sets. But yeah, I wanted you mentioned the price of Legos, so I'll wait for you to get your thing done, and then I'll tell you a little
Well,
bit of some stuff I know.
okay. So not only is this $360, right?
Hmm.
So, as a person who plays D&D a ton. I love D&D. D&D is great. It's a great
Gotcha.
social event for everyone, all ages. But the more you get into D&D, like you don't need a lot of fancy stuff. You could play D&D with a piece of paper and like moderate access to the internet. You don't even need the internet access if you just have a piece of paper and a dice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Shit, you could play D&D with like a coin if you wanted to. It wouldn't be, as in depth, but it gets the point across that the yes no, like does this succeed, stuff like that.
Yeah.
You do all that. Now, but when you're a fan of it, you tend to get more things. Like you tend to get multiple sets of dice. You tend to get more miniatures.
Yeah. Yeah.
In some cases, people draw like a map for the miniatures to sit on. In our case, we do that, but I repurposed one of my old like flat screen TVs
To
onto
like
our
project.
table.
Yeah, I gotcha.
But one thing that I've constantly debated about getting is little terrain like miniatures.
Yeah.
They're very they are like art pieces themselves because they are professionally like made. I'm not talking about like the ones you get like in boxes. I'm talking about a company called Dwarven Forge,
Gotcha.
and they like full paint their terrain sets and they model them. It's like a group of it's not a lot of people there, but like they come out with sets specifically that all work together or whatever. And you can buy them all painted, and they're usually anywhere from like $100 to like $200. And it blows my mind that the Lego set is more than those because there's hands down way more like work that would go into the Dwarven Forge set. Like
I feel
you
that. Yeah.
could you could argue, oh, but Legos have to go together, so there probably is more like logistics going into it. But I would venture to say that most Legos they either draw up something or whatever, and then a computer just tells you what pieces you need to put in to get that built at
Yeah,
this
that makes
point.
sense.
But that's basically what I wanted to say. I'm like I am dumbfounded that a Lego set is now or a D&D Lego set is more expensive than
Like custom made shit.
The custom made shit. It's as expensive as a graphics card, which is insane.
Yeah, when you think about it like that, what I know, what we were talking about before we started, is I I have a close friend of mine who really enjoys collecting Legos, and sometimes when we're on Discord calls and bored, she'll guide me through some of the Lego sets she's waiting to get. And so I've spent some time on Lego.com. So just to make sure I wasn't going to talk out my ass, I wanted to go there, and I have indeed found several of the ones I found. Well, would you like a would you like an AT-AT Star Wars set, Jacob?
Why? Sure, sure. I would.
Well, good. Well, that's going to set you back $850.
I would no longer want it. For
Would you like a
one,
Millennium Falcon for the same price?
no.
Maybe I could interest you in the Titanic for $680. Or a literal crane lifter, like a
A
construction
literal
crane,
crane.
for $700. Some
See,
others that
this is
honorable
just insane
mentions
to
are
me.
everything in the Hogwarts set is, unless you're buying the individual pieces and not the full set, is right around $500. So you can buy a Ferrari that's 3,700 pieces for $450. And in fact, of their like least expensive things in their like giant sets would be getting some Diddy Kong or Bowser castle sets for right around $115. And this is from the Lego store. This isn't like some
Yeah.
secondhand thing.
Well, I would like to say I'm on the Lego store now, and for $500 you could get Rivendell from Lord of the Rings.
Yes.
Like that's a whole set, and I'm like, that one actually looks kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie, that one does look kind of cool. Would I get it? No, I would not.
No. I can't imagine.
I have a canon memory in like my mind. It's a core memory of just a box of random Lego that I don't know where they came from.
Oh yeah, same.
I just
Everybody had
had
the
'em.
big tub with every random Lego piece just kind of thrown in
Yeah.
it.
But you see, this is what I would do with those because it wasn't until like much later that I got like an actual set of Lego. But what I would do with just the box of Legos is I would make different just objects and I would just smash them together. That's all I
Yeah.
would do.
I think
And whichever
that's
one
pretty-
won would then have to go to the next round against something else.
It seems like after it's been smashed into one thing a few more times, the tide is not in its favor for that next match.
I mean, yeah. But I will say the one thing that I enjoyed about the Lego set, like an actual Lego set,
Yeah.
is that you can just 100% just turn off and just build that whole Lego set in a few hours.
Yeah, no, I definitely see. I mean, they're cool to put on display too. Like, I definitely see the value to them. It's just like, why are they so damn expensive? It's Legos. It's like
I don't know.
each one's like a 10-cent piece of plastic.
It's probably paying for like the concept art of the whole piece and like that's just so much. It's like, I almost wonder if the way they've started to do it, because if you click on some of these, it actually shows you the drawings of it before the Lego thing, like how they drew concept. And I almost
Yeah.
wonder if it's kind of like how certain actors in movies can either get paid like a flat sum or get paid royalties from like how much the movie makes. I wonder if that's how this works. It's kind of like you either get paid a little bit or you get paid
Paid
like
a lot
a
of
good
it.
bit or you get paid a little bit for how many like sells or how much of it sells.
Yeah.
It's
I
wild
feel
though.
that. Now, I will say, I, as a kid, actually had a what's it called? Not a field trip, but like it was over multiple days during the summer where we went to Legoland in Florida. Because it wasn't a vacation; it was put on by the school.
Yeah.
But that was interesting. It was. I remember very little of it. I was quite young. I want to say I was like 10. But looking at pictures, of the place itself, I do not actually remember much of any of this. So this is not also where I went at all. Never mind. This came out in 2011. I graduated high school in 2011. Where
You're
did I
like,
go?
this
I went
is
to
not where I was.
I went, yeah, because this literally I would have graduated high school when that opened. It was something. It was like some kind of like shitty Legoland in Florida, but like I guess like Legoland, like the Boondocks Legoland, the fucking
There could have
boonies.
always been like a Legoland before that one.
That's fair. But yeah, I went there. It was unimpressive, but it was kind of cool. I don't think I'd ever go to that place again, but I guess it was a cool concept.
Seeing the prices of all these Legos makes me fear the day when I eventually have a kid that wants Legos.
Well, the great news is your kid probably, at least at the age where they're going to immediately want Legos to play with, they're probably not going to be, I'm not going to say smart enough, but they're probably not going to be with it enough to care whether it's like a $300 set or if you just bought them like Frodo or something, you know what I mean?
In a few years, I'm going to send you a video and it's going to be of my fucking like 4-year-old son just going, "Father, I crave Legos."
Daddy,
Just
give
in
me
a
the
deep
Rivendell
voice.
one.
Bro, I'd be like, "Nah, you good? We got trees in the backyard."
Speaking of Legos, I think this is wild. You know, Lego has a very, very long history of video games, especially based around properties, right?
Yeah.
But the first Lego game actually came out in 1995 for the Sega Pico, which was like
What?
okay. I didn't have a Pico, but that's something similar. It was called a kid's computer. Let me link this to you because I'm sure you saw it. Do you remember Leapfrog, that thing? But just take a picture, or not take a picture. Take a look at this picture because it was like a gaming. It was like a game console that looked like a laptop.
Wait,
It was
wait a
designed for
second.
children.
You wait a second here. All right. Keep talking. I can hear you.
Oh, okay.
You just need to keep talking.
Oh, okay. He's gonna I swear to God, he's gonna show back up with one. It's gonna be great. Apparently, they made a sequel to it called the Advanced Pico Beena, Beena. Oh, and this had multiplayer. I see.
So I don't have that, but I have a variation of that when I was a kid
Yeah,
that I
that's
just
basically exactly what
never
we're talking
opened.
about. Oh, that one's Hot Wheels brand. Damn, look at
Yeah.
you.
But it doesn't have the cool big screen on it. It has
No,
like
it
a little
has
screen.
a smaller screen, but it probably has the TV functionality where you could use like RGB cables to like a TV.
Probably. You could plug a Hot Wheel track into it, apparently. Which is
Oh.
weird.
That reminds me of a couple years ago when Ubisoft tried to make like a space open world like adventure game, but it was like you to get parts for your ship, you had to buy action figures and then plug it up to a stand, almost like an amiibo. It was really weird. It was called Starlink: The Battle for Atlas. It wasn't very
Starlink.
fun, so I never got into it.
That reminds me of the old Pokemon cards where you would like scan them on the Game Boy
Yeah,
and then they'd get in the game or whatever.
I don't at all miss the like hyper gimmicked stuff from games,
Whoa.
but there's a part of me that does kind of miss like on the N64 you had that Hey You Pikachu, remember? That you could like talk to Pikachu
Oh
and
yeah.
like tell him to do stuff, and then on the then you had like Pokemon Snap where you could go to Blockbuster and have them print out your pictures and stuff. I do miss some of that stuff. I don't necessarily miss the like, and plug this in and your character grows a third nipple. It's like, all right.
I genuinely don't know what game the Pokemon cards would go into. I wonder if it was the Pokemon like trading card, like virtual game, or if it would appear in like of the actual Pokemon mainline series.
That's what I'm trying. I was actually trying to look that up when you brought that up because I have the Game Boy Advance one on my Ultra Game Boy Advance, or Game Boy Color. I mean, but I was trying to see what.
It's so
Hold
interesting.
on the Pokemon trading card game Wikipedia.
Uh huh.
It says censorships, and there's only two lines here, but the game was banned in Saudi Arabia because it supposedly promoted Zionism. According to a name I can't pronounce and I don't want to butcher, the Pokemon video game and cards have symbols that are the Star of David, which everyone knows is connected to international Zionism and is Israel's national emblem. What? Oh, it's apparently because of the black star on the white, the white energy star, where it's like a black star on the white bulb. It
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Oh, they made a sequel to it too that only came out in Japan. That sucks.
It's like that's just as dumb as like when Yu-Gi-Oh comes to the States, how they have to censor like the crosses
Yeah,
and like slight cleavage.
I'm not gonna say it's quite as dumb. I think that statement kind of took it. This guy kind of took it to a different level. But who is this guy though? Because I've never heard. I mean, I don't keep up with the Saudi Arabian politics, but I'm just kind of curious who he is.
What's the name? Can you copy paste the name? Maybe I'll read it.
Yeah, it's Sheikh Abdul Aziz bin Abdullah. But I am going to copy and paste it for you.
Paula Abdul?
I don't think they're related, but we could ask. I'll send him an email.
I'll send him an email. Are you related to this person?
He's a Saudi Arabian scholar. He's the current Grand Mufti of Saudi Arabia. As such, he's the head of the Council of Senior Religious Scholars and its subcommittee, the Permanent Committee for Islamic Research and Issuing Fatwas. Okay. I was just trying to learn about the dude. I didn't think I was going to have to look up more words.
I think the e-reader just reads out stats of the Pokemon card.
I would believe that. I was trying to just figure out what you even use, because I couldn't remember if you used the e-reader with a Game Boy or in like a SNES or something. Pokemon Trading Card e-reader.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it just reads them off, and if you could transfer them into a game, I'm pretty sure you would need like 2 Game Boys.
What do Pokemon e-reader cards do? Yeah, the Nintendo e-reader. Okay. Is an add-on manufactured for the Game Boy Advance handheld console. Okay. It was released in Japan with the following LED scanner that reads e-reader cards. Paper cards with specially encoded data printed on them. There we go. In the US, e-reader card packs have been released that contain NES games, new levels and power-ups for Super Mario Advance 4, Super Mario Bros. 3, items and designs for Animal Crossing, new trainers to battle in Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire, mini-games including an exclusive version of Mario Party, game and watch cards, originally the blah blah blah, and then there's a bunch of other things you could do with it, of course, like you said, you're reading the Pokemon Battle e-cards. When scanned into Pokemon Ruby or Sapphire, allowed the player to load up special trainers to battle or to get special berries. In Japan, the series was sold as 6 sets, each with different themes with 10 cards in each set. So there's trainer cards, Enigma berries, Eon tickets, and then Battle e-cards.
Yeah, I'm like, the e-cards I'm remembering are distinctly like not trainer cards or anything like that. It's just Pokemon. So I feel like it just reads those particularly out.
Yeah.
Because I saw an image and it looked like it turned it into like a Pokedex esque thing.
Yeah, I'd believe that. Yeah, apparently, eventually they were supposed to be in Fire Red and Leaf Green too, but since it got discontinued in the U.S., they were not added to the U.S. versions of those games.
Old Pokemon cards used to have bomb art. Like, they were fire.
Yeah, I
New
know a lot of
ones
people died.
though kind of look bad.
I see. The thing is, I'm a big fan of trading cards. I'm not a big fan of. I should refer is that I'm a big fan of collectible cards. I'm not a huge fan of trading cards. Like, I consider like game cards as like trading cards, like
Well,
Pokemon
yeah,
or Yu-Gi-Oh or Magic. But I'm a big fan of like baseball cards and stuff like that.
yeah. I do think it's interesting how like the American card game for it is it's TCG, the trading card game,
Yeah.
but at least this is for Yu-Gi-Oh. I don't know about anything else, but in Japan, it's literally called the OCG, the official card game, and I'm like, damn, we're copycats over here. We get all our shitty like a set late. We don't even have the official card game. It's all bullshit.
So out of curiosity, have you heard of Displate?
Yeah,
Okay. I didn't know if you'd heard about it because I've been looking into getting some. They're not too much, and they have just a huge collection of D&D stuff on there. So I
I
wasn't sure
haven't
if you were
looked at
aware
them
of
in
that or not.
forever.
They got a lot more than probably the last time you looked. But yeah, I've been wanting to get some wall art lately for my room because get rid of these flags and stuff. Because I mean, why not? I was thinking about getting some Star Trek and Alien branded ones, but the they're a little expensive, but like if I got it like one just kind of for myself, you know what I mean? I don't think it would be the end of the world. Like, how much is this one? Yeah, this one's like $40. So, but yeah, for
Speaking
any,
of wall art, the Khaled has officially started on my skateboard deck that he's gonna paint.
oh yeah, cool.
He had to build like a spray booth for air
That
spray,
makes
whatever
sense.
the
Yeah.
fucking paint spray is. Not spray paint. It's an airbrush. There we go. Continue. I cut you off.
Oh, you're good.
Bragging me
I
too.
was just saying that. No, I was just saying that for anybody who doesn't know, Displate is a. I'm gonna call them a poster, but they're not like, they're not technically posters. They're
They're a metal poster.
Yeah, they're poster shaped, but they're metal and they magnetically attach to the wall. So they're like supposed to be very durable and stuff. So I've always been really into them, and I've of course, like a lot of people who probably have heard of Displate, I've mainly heard of it through it sponsoring YouTubers I watch, but
Yeah,
that's about
that
it.
checks out. That checks out.
But yeah, I really like the concept. They have this series. I'm gonna send you real fast. This is the one I've had bookmarked for a while because everything in it's just ace. And
Looking at the D&D styled ones, I'm like, these are actually kind of fire.
yeah, most of their stuff, in my opinion, is fire. I don't know how you'd feel about the ones I sent you, but that's the
I
ones
like
I've been
those.
like. Yeah, I think it's really
I
cool.
like those.
The Japanese
I
nature neon set.
Bro, my my dad is like really funny about this kind of stuff because I guarantee you if I had one of these on my walls, he'd walk in and be like, "Why you got pink on your room, dude?" Like he would say something like that. It'd be so funny.
Lord. They also have a bunch of baseball ones I've also been looking at. Get
Get
myself a
that
Mariners
baseball
one.
shit out of here, dude. I think the reason why they have a ton of stuff, I feel like anyone might be able to just like put in artwork to be put on a display.
I wonder.
Yeah, it says at the very bottom, there's a link that says sell your art.
Oh, well then that makes sense. Yeah,
Join
I
us
can
as an
imagine.
artist and sell your stuff. Yep, that makes sense.
Yeah, in fact, if you join their club thing, you get one free displate every 12 months, early access to limited editions, and then it says a tool to create displates from your own photos. So,
There is quite a lot of like cool art for D&D. I'm not gonna lie, because I was hesitant. I was like, what are they gonna have? Just like the actual movie poster or like what? But then looking at it, there's a lot of good ones. Like they have the limited edition displays. So if you don't know, when like a D&D book comes out, There's like the regular one that comes out. It could be like the player's handbook. It has like the original cover on it,
Yeah.
but they all have like alternate
Yeah,
covers.
like a deluxe edition kind of
Yeah,
thing.
and they look cool, and they have those as displays, which is really epic. Actually, I'm gonna send you one just so you admire it with your face.
Oh yeah, that is cool. Damn. Even in the preview, that's cool. Yeah,
Love to
these are
see
pretty.
it.
These are pretty nice. There's also, for those of you out there, there's a lot of images of anime girls just taking clothes off. That shouldn't
Well,
be
that's to
surprising,
be
but
expected. To be expected.
it
Like,
caught me off
it's the
guard a little
internet.
bit because I was like, "Oh, look at all this pretty nature! Look at like all the retro stuff!" And hey, look, it's Tifa's tits.
Yeah. Tifa's tits.
I
That's a
think
Final Fantasy character, isn't it?
yeah, the one with the black shorts and the white halter top from Final Fantasy 7. Yeah, 8 actually, I think.
Will Neff has a full size doll of that in his stream room, and
Lord.
because he did a stream where the chat got to vote whatever he bought, whatever
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
matter, but it comes in, and he's putting it together, and he's like lifting it up, and he's like, it's so heavy, oh my god, but everyone was being like, you bought a sex doll, and he's like, it's an art doll, it sits in the back, it's art.
It's
But
an
then
art doll that I fuck.
But then I remember they were doing like a food challenge, and people were like going to his house to get ready for it when he like went live. Because basically they just had to go to like drive-throughs and order whatever the person in front of them got and eat it. But they had to go
Yeah.
to like 10 different restaurants in to finish it, kind of thing. But there he's like live streaming, and he has like it's just facing him, and the other people come in. I think it was Hassan. He comes in, says hi, and then he immediately just walks over to the stream room, and you see Will Neff go over there. He's like, "What are you doing to Tifa?" Just-
God. Well, since we're at the 28-minute mark, I'll go ahead and say welcome everybody into the Fluffy Biscuits podcast. So this way we don't forget to do it again. But I am
happens.
Zach. You can find me at Pixelated Trash, and that is Jacob. You can find him at ZerTL. We'll have more socials at the end.
Nuh-uh. We don't have socials. Oh my god. They have the meme where it's like the blonde lady pointing at the cat,
Yeah.
the white cat at the table. They have that.
Yeah, they
Look
have
at
a lot
this.
of memes.
Look at that. That's so adorable.
That's really funny.
It's like he's eating
It's like-
ramen and
I
shit.
know. He's
Or
just
like
like,
rice. Oh my god, I'm thinking about getting that one.
Oh, they even have ones that are like traditional like Japanese dressed girls doing the pointing.
Yeah, they're meant to go side by side. This is great.
Yeah. That is really
This
funny.
is amazing. The what I saw a picture. You watched Avatar: The Last Airbender, right?
Yes.
So I saw a picture the other day, and it was like, it was obvious it was a meme, but it was Sokka, like pointing at Aang, being like, "You spent the last however many years it trapped in an iceberg mewing," and then it pans over to Aang, and he has like this really defined jaw, and he's like, "I wasn't alone. Appa was mewing too," and then Sokka's like, "Who the fuck's Appa?" And then it goes over the Appa, the fucking whatever the fuck animal he is.
Yeah, the
The
flying
sky
bison. Yeah.
And then he also has a really defined jaw.
God.
I don't know why I
That's-
thought of that, but psychotic.
That's fucking wild. I jacked Aang is best Aang.
The Avatar Netflix series is garbage. Did we talk about that yet?
I think a little more positively of it than what I've heard from other people, but I wouldn't say it's good. You know what I mean?
I and a lot of other people knew going in it was garbage. Because this is going to sound really weird, but you got to bear with me to the end because it comes back, right?
Hmm.
Sokka hated women in the
I
beginning
mean,
of
yeah,
Avatar. But
yeah,
that's his whole character arc, right? He starts off thinking like guys are better, they're like this misogyny kind of thing. But then as he meets these very, strong females throughout the story, he realizes that's like an old wrong way of thinking. Like that's his whole
yeah.
arc. And the live action like whatever Netflix series just immediately was like Sokka's not a misogynist, just took that whole part out and I'm like, what is Sokka even doing anymore?
I mean, overall, I thought it was like all right. You know what I mean? I think they actually did really good with some of the visual effects, and at times the writing was pretty true to source. Not most of the time, but I liked a lot of the casting, the actors and actresses. I thought did a pretty good job. But just generally speaking, I enjoyed the couple of episodes I watched of it, but I had no desire to finish watching it.
The
But I will say it's miles above fucking M. Night Shyamalan's movie.
they didn't they make Aang like super serious from the beginning in this as well?
No, he was a goofball in it,
Okay.
in the live action anyway.
Because, in the anime or whatever, he was also like that's his whole arc is he just wants to be a kid. He never
Yeah.
wanted to be the Avatar.
No, from the best of my knowledge, now I only watched the first 4 episodes, and then I was like, I'm kind of done. But I remember him being pretty his, true to his roots, so to speak.
Okay, wait. I read something the other day that is about Avatar, but it's like a fan like theory of like a what if almost.
Hmm.
So, how much of Avatar did you watch as a kid?
I've seen all of the cartoon.
Okay, that's good enough. So you know how when the Avatar gets reincarnated, it is literally like Avatar dies the next day the Avatar is born in a different like
Yeah,
tribe.
yeah,
So, but the way it works is, say the cycle goes, it goes like air, water, earth, fire, or whatever.
yeah,
The air, there's like 4 air nomad tribes or whatever. Each time it gets to air, it's a different nomad tribe. So it could be like the north one, and then it would go south, and then it would go east and west or whatever. It will
yeah,
never
yeah,
be the same tribe back to back.
yeah,
So the theory is like everyone expects for like the water avatar because the reason why in Avatar Zuko was going to the Southern Water Tribe so much and there was like no more waterbenders there
to kill
is
them so
because
that it would skip them, right?
no,
Oh,
it's because the next person in the cycle, like the next tribe of the water tribe in the cycle, was that like the Southern Water Tribe. And
yeah.
so they all thought, the airbender avatar died or was going to die, whether he was in hiding or whatever.
Oh, I see. Yeah,
So they were constantly scouring that area, just waiting for him to appear. But here's the thing there are a lot of waterbenders in the swamp. In the middle of like the continent, there's like
hmm,
a swamp. You remember the swamp people that had like they'd control the seaweed and become like seaweed monster guy.
yeah, yeah,
And that that swamp is very heavily connected to like the spirit world, and all the people in the swamp are like country bumpkin hicks people kind of thing.
yeah,
And so the fan like theory was what if Aang did die, but instead of in a water avatar getting like in the Southern Water Tribe, he was just a country hick that no one ever went to the swamp, so he grew up in the swamp away from everything, like all the firebenders, and then he just shows up one day with a southern accent and starts beating the shit out of the firebenders.
Well,
I don't know why, but it sounds like it's such a good like idea.
mm-hmm.
I really wish there was like a fan animation of this. Just like
I feel that.
this little baby avatar walking around, just doing nothing in the swamp all day. And then he turns like 20, doesn't realize he's the avatar at all. Firebender shows up, he just ends up firebending it right back at him. On instinct, it'd be great.
So, to pivot a little bit,
Yep.
I'm gonna upset a bunch of people right
Oof.
now. Not literally, don't worry. But well, I mean, yeah, there's probably a lot of people who are gonna think this is a hot take. Do you remember the Nintendo 64 game GoldenEye? The FPS.
You're about to piss me off, I think.
Do you remember it?
I played it all the time.
Yeah, same. I did too.
Okay.
I went back and beat it again very recently, as in within the last couple months, on my Ultra 64, and it does not hold up. It is not.
Oh no, it doesn't. No.
Fun. The game was great when I was a kid, but oh my god, you literally move like your button presses are being relayed by a second person with like a fucking joystick just doing their best. And it's like the aiming, you like go like in random directions as you're like looking around. It's so fucking weird. I could not. I really wanted to enjoy it, but I could not. Another game similar to that is called Win Back. I remembered liking Win Back a lot when I was a kid, but holy fuck, that game did not hold up either.
I never played the story of it. I only ever played the multiplayer of like one of my uncles.
I think when I was a kid, I did the same because I didn't remember any of the story. I mean, it just tells the story of GoldenEye, the movie, so it's not like I don't think you're really missing much.
I remember the one map and getting like the golden gun. I remember that.
Yeah.
That's it.
I remember when we played, everybody would like say you couldn't pick Odd Job, but I don't remember why. Like I don't remember what that did or what the broken part of that was.
I remember outlawing my uncle from having the golden gun. I remember being like, you cannot pick up that gun. That is my gun. You were too good. Here's another thing that, speaking of games, did you know that the Easy Anti-Cheat has an exploit out right now?
Yeah, I was actually reading about that today. I don't have the background to comprehend most of it, but I was reading about it.
So, like, essentially, Easy Anti-Cheat is supposed to keep people from cheating.
Yeah, that's what they use in Apex.
Apex, Hunt, a lot of games use it.
Yeah.
But the thing is I guess it's all synced up somehow. Because it's not just, people can use cheats. It's people can hack your stuff if you play a game with Easy Anti-Cheat right now.
Huh.
I'm pretty
That'd
sure
be kind of wild.
I'm pretty sure one of like the pro Apex players, like, and all like not them. I'm pretty sure in the way I was interpreting like the article was some outside person or entity turned on cheats on his stuff from like remotely.
I feel that. That's kind of wild though. Like, so someone like got into it and just like made. Does that make sense? Like, someone got into it and like put the cheats in there, but weren't using them, or what? Like, I'm definitely confused, but I didn't understand it to begin with. So
postponed after players hacked mid-game.
Ah, okay.
On Sunday, two competitive esport players appeared to get hacked during a live-streamed game, prompting the organizers to postpone the tournament. Players were competing in Apex Legends Global Series, competitive esports tournament for popular shooting game. Ba 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 ba. The dude, the quote they use is, "Wait, what the fuck? I'm getting hacked. I'm getting hacked, bro."
I feel that.
And it's just him holding up his hands as I guess all of this
Yeah.
stuff is
Yeah.
appearing up on the screen.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah, but it's from Easy Anti cheat, and like me and Josh love playing Hunt Showdown. That uses that too, so we're not playing that right now, which is kind of sad.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, like, I would definitely agree with taking a step back. It is interesting though, because like, obviously, I mean, yeah. What would you help me out here? What would be the value of it, right? Like, can you hack into someone's computer, or can you just hack control of their game? Because
Well, Easy Anti cheat. Okay, so here's the thing, right? If they're able to remotely turn on someone's cheats from a distance, that means they're able to contact their computer through whatever ports or whatever. Meaning, if like they've exploited it, they've put something in the Easy Anti cheat to where when Easy Anti cheat like installs itself whenever you install Apex, because it'll automatically do it. It is in that code. It's in that executable, meaning it can install anything on your computer at that point. All they have
oh,
to
I
do is
got
hit
you.
a button, and whatever that has been like deployed into the software becomes active, whether that's cheats or whatever. And it looks like from this tournament as well, like this man wasn't at a like an event. This man was in his room. So that means they had to deploy it to his computer during his stream, stuff like that. Even Easy Anti Cheat has come out and said, like, "Yo, like, be careful right now."
Yeah,
Like they
yeah, I
address the
can imagine.
situation.
That certainly makes sense. I don't I don't play anything. I don't play anything like online that I think would even need like an end. You know what I mean? Like, I don't really play. Um,
7 Days to Die.
I mean, I have it, but I don't play it. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
don't. I don't think anything I play is of any value on there, especially on my computer, because most of that's just like, you know, my ultra consoles or fucking something like, I don't know, like Mountain Blade 2, and I don't play that online, so most of the time my video game playing is either with like one or two people in like a private game or by myself while I watch YouTube or a TV show or something. Catch
Well,
up on a
even if like
podcast.
you weren't online, it would still turn on Easy Anti Cheat. So,
That part's fair, yeah.
well,
Yeah.
I agree. Like, there aren't many games on here that I play. I'm pretty sure it's only like three. But one game that I didn't think would be on here, or at least it would surprise me, is there's a bunch of anime games that use Easy Anti Cheat. Like, we got Black Clover, Quartet Knights. We have Captain Tsubasa,
I have that on PS4. It's a great game.
the Dragon Ball Z, Fighter Z, and then Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2.
That makes sense though, because they were a lot bigger with some of that stuff over there than you would think, I guess.
Yeah.
Where it's like they do a lot to try to keep like everything, including just like the game code itself, like proprietary and secret, so to speak.
Yeah. I can see that. It's odd thinking about games using Easy Anti Cheat when I don't associate some of these games with multiplayer. Like, of course, the Dragon Ball Z games I can see multiplayer, but I didn't realize Captain Tsubasa was a multiplayer game.
Yeah, it is. They got For Honor on here. They got Hell Let Loose. I mean, they've got some pretty popular multiplayer games. Lost Ark, I don't personally care about it, but I know a lot of people play it.
It was fun.
I actually do play Naruto to Boruto Shinobi Strikers on my PC, but not very often. So yeah, I recognize a good Rising Storm 2, Vietnam, Scum, Rust, Rec
Smite.
Room, Smite. Yeah, Squad I know is popular,
War
but
Thunder.
yeah,
Vermintide
oh yeah,
too.
War Thunder definitely. Tom
Okay, well,
Clancy's
to
The
be fair,
Division and Wildlands.
War Thunder has its own issues, and it
Yeah,
comes in the
with
form of all of their
leaking.
die-hard like military fans leaking actual military documents.
I was trying to see if say something because no, it wasn't. Was not this one. Okay, I used to play No Man's Sky a lot, and I had two characters on my No Man's Sky. I had an online character and an offline character, and I did use a cheat engine for my offline character, and I remember it worked fine. And then day, I just like my online character just got banned. Like I didn't even have the cheat engine up. So I was like, that was stupid. Because I wasn't using it for the online one, I was using it for the offline one, where I was trying to just build the biggest possible base I could.
Well, getting away from the easy anti-cheat,
Yes.
I do know that I completely blank. Oh, Dark and Darker, which was like banned, not banned, but taken off of Steam last year because of
Yeah, it's coming to
Raven.
Epic.
Yeah, yes, it
I don't know if I'm
is.
excited for it or not, but I have heard quite a bit about it.
Well, I wanted to get it with you at one point, but you never gave me an answer.
Well, I think it wasn't. I think it was like we didn't have. I don't think it was out. Like when we were
It
talking.
was out. It was out.
Oh.
It's out. You just have to buy like it has its own launcher right now.
Yeah. Yeah, because I know it's like an extraction game, like not Hunt, but what's that other one you play?
I mean, it's like Hunt,
Tarkov. Yeah.
Hunt Tarkov. It's like those, but medieval, and it's like
Yeah.
it's better in a way for people that don't want to deal with snipers in the distance.
Yeah, I feel that.
Another interesting thing that I like, I have a few things about Helldivers. One is that all this shit keeps happening in Helldivers too. And the CEO is like, "Nah, that didn't happen. That's fake. That's fake news." Like, for instance, Joel will, the game master will like start doing events like they'll have like these flying bugs, right? And then when someone goes out on the internet and is like, "What are these flying bugs?" the CEO will be like, "He's a bug supportist. He's a bug sympathizer. Don't listen to him. It's fake. He's a fake person." And then now there's like apparently blue like beams getting shot at players in game, and the CEO's like, "Those aren't real. I don't know what you're talking about. Blue beams aren't real. They can't hurt you."
I
But
feel that.
last week, actually, during I don't even know what it is. It's some like very small game that's on Steam. Actually changed everything about their Steam webpage or store page to look like Helldivers 2. Like they changed everything to where it was identical. Like picture, artwork, descriptions, studio created, and then they set the price to the correct price for Helldivers, but then put it on sale. So instead of like however much, it was like, I don't know, $10 off. Which doesn't make sense because like, Steam has that thing where if you don't want a game, you can just return it within 2 hours of gameplay time, within a
Yeah.
week or whatever. And so this person just changed all that stuff, had a bunch of people buy it, and then it essentially just gave them, his game. That's like an $8 game. And so I guarantee you they just like, returned it.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the end game there was.
I don't either, because, I mean, it seems pretty pointless.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard a lot about Helldivers 2, but I didn't personally get into it. I looked into it, though, and it did seem, I guess fun's the best way to say it, but just not for me.
I think it's fun when you have people to play with.
That's fair.
Because we
It's kind of
do be
like,
screaming. We scream and cry.
well, that's fair, but I do that regardless. I do that for every game I play.
I don't. I don't do that.
Sometimes I just do it for fun.
I don't do that. Tarkov will make me like fucking scream like a little bitch, like a little girl. I'm just like, just silent crawling. If I get shot at when I'm in like the zone, I will scream. It doesn't matter what time of day it is.
You know, a similar game that I've had repressing personal thoughts about potentially ever getting back into is DayZ. A part of me does miss playing DayZ, but holy fuck me, I don't want to get back
You
into
want
it.
to play DayZ, Zach?
Plus, I don't own the standalone.
Damn it, Zach! I own the standalone.
I know. Well,
We
I
all
figured you
love
did.
playing DayZ. Oh fuck! I hit my mic.
So excited, I just had to punch something. I feel you.
No, I'm spinning. I have a dart. I have a little like an actual dartboard dart, and I just put it on my Leatherman, and I just spin it. Just-
Back when I did play DayZ, my favorite thing for it was to eat people and just start bursting out laughing.
That's what
'Cause if
I
you
do
eat
too. That's
Yeah.
what I do.
Why get food when you can just wait for John to drop?
Fun fact: the way DayZ originally worked, like the mod,
Yeah.
is the same way Helldivers 2 works. The way like enemies spawn, enemies are
gotcha.
spawned locally, per like computer. So you'll have your own set of enemies that spawn on your PC that follow you, and I would have my own that follow me, and that's exactly how Helldivers 2 works, which is funny to think
I
about.
feel that.
But no, I think we should all play DayZ. You need to get it. We need to play that bitch.
At some point, I will. It's pretty pricey compared to what I remembered.
Yeah, it is actually. You could probably get it on G2A for cheaper. I like getting the like lock picks. I don't play on like base servers like official ones. I play on community ones because they're a little bit they're more fun to play on, and they have a bigger community.
Yeah.
And they have stores set up where you can sell random items you find, and you can actually get good loot, and it's not just walking simulator because you can like spawn at your house. DayZ was actually one of the first games I ever learned how to remember the map.
Yeah, that's fair. I do remember you didn't have like a mini map or even like a physical map really until later. You had to find one.
Yeah, I remember like even to this day I still like I can still like navigate DayZ without like an actual map anymore. Like I don't need it. I remember on one of the maps I had died, and Noah was on like the very far right coast of the map.
I gotcha.
I forget. I don't remember the city names because they're all in Russian. But it's like the middle of the right hand coast, like after the bend. Small little town, and we had set up a little house there. And I spawn. And normally in DayZ, you spawn on the fucking coast, so you can like, it's easy to get your bearings. I spawned inland, in the fucking woods. And I'm like looking around, and Noah's like, you should probably just kill yourself. That way you can spawn on the coast. And I'm like, no. I feel it in my heart. If I run just this way, and I'm like sharing my screen in Discord so he could understand what I like why it was taking me so long. I'm like, I swear, if I run this way for long enough, I will make it to your town. And he just goes, "No, I don't think that's the right way because of like this particular sign he saw." And I was like, "Fuck it, I'm doing it." An hour and a half later of running, and I make it to the town of just running straight. And he's like, he was so surprised. I'm like, I just had to have faith. It all
I
came
feel
back to
that.
me.
Well, I have to have faith that this is the end of the episode. So thank you all so much for watching or listening. If you watch this on YouTube, you can find us on Spotify at the Fluffy Biscuits Podcast. If you listened on Spotify, you can watch us on YouTube at the Fluffy Biscuits Podcast. You can find me, Zach, on YouTube at Pixelated Trash. You can find Jacob on YouTube at Pixelated Trash, NazirTL. On Twitch at twitch.tv/NazirTL, and on X at NazirTL. You can also follow us on X at Fluffy Biscuits Podcast. There's this extra F because the first one was taken. So thank you all so much for watching. Goodbye.